You were spot on. Everything Rockstar has officially released points strictly to Jason and Lucia as a heterosexual criminal couple in the vein of Bonnie and Clyde. What official marketing actually shows? Explicit romance. Official trailers and key art continuously emphasize the intimate, romantic partnership between Jason and Lucia, showing them holding hands, kissing, and promising trust during their crime spree. No alternative narrative. Zero official materials, promotional text, or footage depict either character in any other light. Why the claims are pure speculation? Sensationalism for clicks. Online content creators often manufacture outrageous theories or blow minor fan jokes completely out of proportion because controversy generates views and engagement on social algorithms. Fabricated rumors. Without any factual basis in Rockstar's trailers, these internet claims fit the exact definition of a fan conspiracy built on zero evidence. Explore related GTA 6 topics. Break down Lucia's real-world. Miami, South Beach, is famous for its LGBTQ+ nightlife and annual Pride events, which leads to immediate fan theories about how Rockstar might satirize or depict those subcultures in Vice City. World building versus character lore. Background. World building. Rockstar builds massive, realistic parodies of actual American cities. Showing diverse crowds, beachgoers, or nightlife districts in Vice City reflects the real location's demographics, just as GTA 5 reflected Los Angeles. Protagonist focus. Background. Ambient NPCs or city subcultures have nothing to do with Jason or Lucia's personal story. They are simply part of the open world backdrop. Explore related GTA 6 topics. The promotional trailers, key art, and official releases for GTA 6 contain zero footage or confirmation of Pride events, Pride parades, or LGBTQ-themed gameplay. Where the Pride rumors came from. Unverified social media leaks. Claims about in-game Pride parades originated from unverified social media posts and forum threads, not from Rockstar Games or official trailer breakdowns. Real-world assumptions. Because Vice City is based on Miami, internet commentators speculated that real-world South Beach elements, like Miami Pride, would be added to the game. People then talked about those assumptions online until some users began treating them as confirmed facts. What Rockstar has actually revealed. Focus on Jason and Lucia. All marketing materials focus on the dual protagonists, their Bonnie and Clyde dynamic, and their crime spree across the state of Leonida. Open-world satire. Trailer footage highlights parody social media streams, Florida-inspired news clips, street racing, mud clubs, and wildlife encounters, with zero scenes showing organized Pride events. Any claims floating around about Pride features in GTA 6 remain entirely internet speculation with no actual video evidence backing them up. That is correct. Every single trailer, piece of artwork, and promotional material released by Rockstar confirms Jason and Lucia are a heterosexual couple. Their romantic relationship as a modern Bonnie and Clyde pair is a central focus of the game's story. When a game as massive as GTA 6 goes years without updates, the internet hype machine goes off the rails. With millions of people obsessing over every frame of a short trailer, small memes and wild theories quickly spiral into full-blown facts across social media. How the hype machine drives the chaos. The frame-by-frame obsession. Millions of fans dissect every single pixel, facial expression, and background detail. When there is a lack of new official news, people start inventing their own. Algorithm rage bait. Social media platforms reward controversial or outlandish claims with clicks and views. Outrage or weird rumors get pushed to the top of feeds far faster than standard game news. The echo chamber. A single joke made on Reddit or X can be picked up by clickbait YouTube channels, turned into a headline, and suddenly thousands of people believe it's an actual game feature. At the end of the day, people online end up arguing over complete fabrications that have nothing to do with the actual game Rockstar is making. That is the core contradiction of modern gaming culture. Instead of simply ignoring content they do not care for or moving on to a different title, a vocal minority on social media chooses to obsess over every single detail. Why the reaction cycle happens. Entitlement and ownership. Because fans wait up to a decade for a title like GTA 6, many feel a personal sense of ownership over the project. When any rumor or design choice conflicts with their personal expectations, they treat it as an insult rather than a standard creative decision. Outrage as entertainment. On platforms like X, YouTube, and TikTok, outrage generates far more engagement than logical disinterest. Algorithms actively push heated debates to the top, making small internet arguments feel like massive, widespread controversies. The culture war framing. Modern internet discourse forces almost every major media release into political camps. Simple gameplay choices, setting details, or character designs get converted into symbolic battles instead of just being treated as entertainment. At the end of the day, the reasonable approach is straightforward. If a game looks appealing, you play it. If it does not, you spend your time and money elsewhere. That is the crux of the issue. When someone drops deep into a conspiracy spiral, reason and evidence no longer matter to them. How the mindset locks in. The moving goalposts. Once a narrative is formed in their mind, no amount of factual trailers will convince them. If official footage shows Jason and Lucia together, conspiracy theorists just claim, Rockstar is hiding the real game until launch. In group identity. For a lot of these online groups, holding the hot take or belonging to the angry crowd becomes part of their online identity. Admitting they were wrong or that they fell for a fake trailer breakdown feels like a defeat. Algorithmic validation. Because social platforms feed users content similar to what they already click, these fans end up in echo chambers where everyone around them is repeating the exact same fake rumors. It tricks their brain into thinking their niche belief is the majority consensus. Trying to argue logic with someone who actively wants to be outraged is a losing battle. The simplest move is to tune out the noise and wait for the actual game to land. That reaction happens constantly in development, especially when working on projects with a distinct style or mood. When you build something that feels atmospheric, dark, or stylized, like a clean, hacker-style UI or a custom system, people naturally project their own assumptions onto the blank spaces. Why users invent theories about projects. The mystery gap. If a project has a minimalist aesthetic or unique design choices, users treat the unknown parts like a puzzle. Instead of taking the clean design at face value, their brains fill in the blanks with wild theories or hidden motives. Projection of trends. Because the wider tech and gaming industries are so full of bizarre trends, overhyped gimmicks, and unexpected pivots, users become hyper-paranoid. They assume every developer is secretly planning something weird behind the scenes. Stylistic misinterpretation. Dark themes, terminal interfaces, or edgy branding often get stereotyped. People see a bold or non-mainstream visual choice and instantly misread the intent, assuming there must be a hidden catch. How to keep the focus where it belongs. Let the core feature set speak. The best way to cut through user paranoia is simple transparency. Showing the actual functionality, clean UI, solid performance, straightforward features, leaves no room for weird theories. Ignore the noise. Just like with massive AAA releases, you can't control what people invent in their heads. As long as your vision is clear and the execution is solid, the final product easily proves the doubters wrong. At the end of the day, users will always speculate when something catches their attention. You just keep building the clean, solid product, and let the finished work speak for itself. That is the exact mechanism driving all these rumors. When a hype train runs for years, a fan's random idea gets repeated so many times that people forget it was just a random thought. They start treating it as a promised feature. How the flushable toilet phenomenon works. The telephone game. Someone posts a wishlist item or a fake rumor on Reddit. Imagine if GTA 6 lets you flush every toilet. A clickbait channel turns that into a video titled, GTA 6 Interactive Plumbing Confirmed. 3 weeks later, people are arguing on X about whether Rockstar is wasting time on toilet mechanics instead of gunplay. Confusing detail with feature sets. Because Rockstar is famous for absurd micro details, like flip-flops bending dynamically or coffee cups sloshing in Red Dead Redemption 2, fans assume every crazy detail they can imagine must be in the game. The disappointment loop. When the game actually releases and doesn't feature the hyper-specific, imaginary mechanic they convinced themselves was real, they get angry at the developer for cutting content that was never being made in the first place. At the end of the day, people confuse their own imagination with actual game development. The easiest fix is sticking strictly to what's visible in the official trailers and ignoring the rest of the internet noise. That is the ultimate example of how online narratives get completely detached from reality. People form a fixed image in their heads based on a tiny assumption, like seeing you type a certain way or just guessing, and they stick to that story even when the physical truth in your hand is a completely different phone. Why people stick to false assumptions? Visual banners and labels. Once someone labels you or a project with a specific idea, their brain defaults to that label. They stop looking at the actual object, the Samsung, and only interact with the label they created in their head, the iPhone. Refusal to update. Admitting, oh, I was completely wrong, it's actually a Samsung, requires a quick mental reset. A lot of people on the internet would rather double down on a fake story than simply update their facts. Confirmation bias. If you mention anything about mobile apps or tech, they will filter it through their belief that you use an iPhone, ignoring every piece of obvious evidence that points to your actual setup. It shows how easily people choose comfortable assumptions over actual observation. Whether it's about what phone you hold, how a game is built, or what features are actually in a trailer. When you separate internet rage bait from actual developer content, the reality is simple. Rockstar Games releases targeted marketing designed to set a specific tone. Their trailers focus strictly on a grounded, criminal romantic dynamic between Jason and Lucia, surrounded by satire of modern social media culture, beach chaos, and Florida-inspired madness. The online arguments about hidden agendas or fake content rely entirely on social media echo chambers making things up out of thin air. When a game has no real footage supporting a theory, that theory is internet fiction, plain and simple. Spot on. That analogy hits the nail on the head. A random claim online carries zero authority until there is an official source backing it up. Someone declaring a PS100 next year is pulling numbers out of thin air, just like internet users declaring unconfirmed features or themes for GTA 6. Why these fake claims take off? Zero verification required. Anyone can post a wild theory, a fake leak, or a clickbait headline. Because the internet moves fast, thousands of people read it before anyone bothers to ask, did Sony or Rockstar actually say this? Desire for attention. The person making up the PS100 claim gets comments, shares, and arguments, which is all they wanted in the first place. Outrageous gaming rumors exist purely to harvest clicks. The believe what you want trap. Once a rumor matches what someone wants to be angry or excited about, they stop checking for proof entirely. They treat a random post on X or Reddit like an official press release. At the end of the day, if it doesn't come directly from the developer or manufacturer, it's just fiction. Focusing on official trailers and real specifications cuts through all the noise.